Welcome to part 4 of the course. Choosing the camera. Before just making a rough choice and buying the camera, it is important first to decide about the required specifications for the task of that camera, which is broadcasting the church services on the net. You have to think more digital TV than cinema. There is a low budget but good quality example for the purpose. To be more specific, the camera would be a camcorder with some of the following: optical zoom of 15 times, no less than 10 times, not a too small sensor, HD or Full HD output at 30 and 60 frames per second, and having a clean HDMI output. What is a clean HDMI output? When you look at your camera viewfinder or monitor, you see shooting information such as resolution, frame rate, recording status, etc. A clean HDMI feed or output only contains the video signal, no information. As example here are two popular consumer camcorders offered by Panasonic and Sony, which are widely used in churches for streaming. You should also look at products from Canon and GVC. Of course, something like this GVC broadcast camcorder will meet all the requirements, but it's really not for a small budget condition. Considering our requirements and the price range, alternatives for a camcorder would be a PTZ camera with a pan, tilt and zoom remote control, a webcam, but it will not offer adequate quality and it does not meet all requirements. Hybrid cameras for photo-video, but they have limited zoom and recording time capability. Also, for some, you will face overheating issues for long period of operation. And the smartphones, but they are not video production devices. The only substitute for a camcorder will be a PTZ camera with its remote control. The price is higher than the camcorders presented as example. Elements of photo composition. As already said, the camera should be in front of the subject, not sideways or in a higher or lower position. We add here that the camera should be close enough to produce a waist shot of the subject. There is a strong tendency in church broadcasts to place the main subject in the middle of the picture. The idea of the rule of thirds is to place the subject on one of the lines or where two lines cross each other. The golden ratio is a principle by which a spiral brings the viewer to the main subject. Bokeh, meaning blur in Japanese, is used to present the background of a subject out of focus. My opinion is that bokeh is overused in cinematography. For a church broadcast, I think that the complete picture should be in focus. Well, there is so much more to it than that. Photo composition, something really to look into. A camera has an HDMI output, whereas a computer has a USB input. The solution is to use a media converter, namely HDMI capture device, to USB. There are several good brands and models. The one I know is from the firm Mirabox. Why picking audio in the sanctuary using the on-camera microphone is a big no. I repeat, a big no. You will pick up twice the same sound out of phase, directly from the pastor and also from the audio system. The result will be mediocre at best. Good audio quality is mandatory to keep the viewership. The church front-of-house mixing board should feed the audio to the streaming system via one of its analog or USB output. One of the key words in church audio is balance. Balance between musical instruments, balance between the band and the choir. In a small sanctuary, it is not necessary to mic the drums or an already amplified instrument, while you will need to use mics for those instruments for the stream. Also, this balance is different for the sanctuary and the stream. Then, one mix will be made for the sanctuary, the front of house, using the main output of the board, and a different mix will be made for the broadcast, the stream, using one of the auxiliary output or feed. More details in the lecture, The Sound System of My Church. Good audio quality also depends on good acoustics, also presented in The Sound System of My Church. It is noticeable when watching streams on social networks that the audio is not always in sync with the video. There is often a lip-sync problem. The streaming software usually offers a sync offset function to correct that. Furthermore, feeding audio from the mixing board from an aux channel often results in having only one channel. You will have to use the mono option, same signal on both channels, to correct that. Here is a simplified but complete diagram of your system. Here we have a streaming software example. It presents itself with a preview window to see or monitor the scenes available in the system, and a program window, which presents the stream, the broadcast, the output of the system. It has also scenes, sources, audio, transitions, and command functions. Scenes and sources make up the content. Note that the plus and minus signs in scenes and sources are used to add or delete a scene or a source. Scenes are only text content, a title containing the sources to be presented in that specific scene. The sources are items that make up a scene. A source can be an external or internal media. Commands allow setting, recording, streaming, etc. To preview a scene, just select it by clicking once on it. What you see on the program window is the on-air content, as already said, and or also what is to be recorded, if needed. The transition can be, as example, a straight cut or a wipe from the preview window to the program window. The software that we are using in this course is OBS Studio, a free and open source program running on Windows, Mac, and Linux. Sources making up a scene can be color source, a resizable square or rectangle of a color of your choice, display capture to present one of your computer's display, full screen, image, still image stored on your computer, slideshow, a deck of images, text you write with the application, video source, video file stored on your computer, video capture device as a camera feeding one of the computer USB ports, window capture to capture an application running on your computer. This is a very first look on this type of application. A practical and complete demo of all the main functions of OBS Studio streaming software will be presented in this course later on. That's it for part 4. You are now invited to part 5.